Welcome to the Virginia Board of Nursing steps that you'll follow for NCLEX examination application. So we'll start off at the Department of Health Professions, so dhp.virginia.gov. You'll go to Applications, and then you'll go to Registered Nurse. There's two opportunities presented for you to register for a registered nurse. One is by endorsement, and the other is licensure by examination, and that's the ones that you'll use. So let's look here at the eligibility. If you're a graduate from an RN state-approved nursing education program that prepared you to be a nurse and need to take the NCLEX, you will need to complete the application for licensure by examination. If any of those three items here apply to you, then you would need to call the Board of Nursing. But we'll go down here to the examination application requirements and instructions. So read the instructions carefully before proceeding with an application. So we're going to go through the examination application instructions, and then we'll also go over the licensure applicants are required to have a fingerprint-based criminal background check, which they've abbreviated with CBC. We'll go through that criminal background check process. You'll want to review this read the laws and regulations governing the practice of nursing in Virginia. You can also use this to get more information on the Nurse Licensure Compact, which allows you to practice nursing not only in Virginia, but in other states as well. And then there's a link here to the NCLEX examination process through Pearson VUE. And then in the yellow box is where you're actually going to click here to begin. So what we're going to do is we are actually going to look at those examination application instructions. And these have actually been posted for you on Blackboard. But let's go over this. So this is a working document for you. So the application fee for Virginia is $190 for an RN. So Virginia, it's telling you up front, is a compact state. And if your primary state of residence is a compact state, you must apply for licensure in your primary state of residence. And so that's the state of a person's declared fixed permanent and principal home or domicile for legal purposes. If your primary state of residence is Virginia or a non-compact state, you must obtain a Virginia license to practice as a nurse in Virginia. And you'll use then the Virginia process to follow. So, as previously mentioned, you'll need to really find out where you want your principal license to be, and we're going to go through the process for Virginia. And you can actually see the states that are involved in the compact license. Requirements are listed below to submit an application by examination. Please check applicable items that are submitted with your application. So the first thing is to complete an application and the required fee. Acceptable, you're going to use an online application and you're going to pay by credit or debit card. If you're going to pay by mail, include your check or money order payable to the Treasurer of Virginia. Your application will not be reviewed or considered until they have the fees, and those fees are non-refundable. Next, you'll complete the steps involved for the criminal background check. That's required by the Code of Virginia. For online applications, which is what we're going to cover, you'll receive an application confirmation receipt After you do that, which contains a Virginia Board of Nursing, VBON, field print code required to register for fingerprinting exclusively through Field Print Virginia. That's a vendor. Online applicants will also see their field print code at the top of your checklist registrations page. Okay, I'm going to skip the part about mail and paper applications. Official transcript mailed directly to the board from your nursing education that submitted for you. You do have to authorize release of information. Also, graduates of nursing schools located in other states would need to verify their clinical hours. This is not needed. The schools of nursing, so Jefferson College, they're well aware of our hours, and you don't need to worry about that one. Educated in a foreign country, you don't need to worry about. And then the next step will be to register with Pearson VUE. There's an online link here or by phone. You can pay either through credit or debit. Supporting documents would be that official transcript, which is going to be mailed to the board directly from your nursing program. So your role in that is to submit the transcript release, and we'll go through that. If you are interested in requesting accommodations by the NCLEX for the Pearson VUE examination, I'll address that in another segment. But you would need to submit that to Virginia. And if there's any name changes, if your name on the transcript or any additional documentation that you're required to submit is different, you'll need to submit the legal documentation to support that. It takes processing time is between 30 to 45 business days. The recommendation is that you periodically log into your Department of Health Professions license application portal to monitor the progress of your application, and remember that unchecked items may have been received but are pending review. Documents submitted with the application are property of the board and cannot be returned, so keep copies. An incomplete application for licensure will be retained on file only as required for an audit. If not completed within 1 year, a new application would be necessary. Remember, those fees are not refundable. And there's a link again about the laws and regulations about nursing practice in Virginia. Okay, so that's our instruction sheet. Now we'll go back and go back to our applications. This is just another view to get in, to go back to where we were. We're going to go back to registered nurse. And now we're going to go through the process for the criminal background check. So we've reviewed the endorsement application instructions. Let's look here about the process for criminal background check. So it's required as of last year, so our students did this the last couple semesters. If you need information about the code, it's available. There are two important documents here. The criminal background check, new requirements fact sheet, and then the whole process. So let's first look at the new requirement fact sheet. So who's required to submit a criminal background? All RN and LPN licensure applications. And then, of course, massage therapists beginning this year. Who will do the background check? There's approximately 20 locations throughout the state of Virginia. It's called Field Print Call Center. How do I schedule the background check? You'll schedule your appointment at a convenient location. Is there a cost to me? Of course. It's $33.95 fee payable to the vendor, in addition to the board licensure application fee. If you're out of state, it's a little bit more expensive. What happens if I have a previous conviction? It will obviously delay the process, and I'll let you review that on your own. Okay, so let's go back and look at the process. So this is the criminal background check process. So it's obviously being done for public safety. And here's the code, and this is all available here for you. So it's utilizing fingerprints or biometrics, a search for evidence of an individual's criminal history in the National Criminal History Record Files and state criminal justice data repositories. Okay, there's more information about criminal conviction, anything that's deferred. There's more about disclosures. It's important to consider when submitting your Virginia Board of Nursing license application. You're required to disclose any convictions. You're not required to disclose arrest if you were not convicted and no further action resulted from that arrest. What happens with the results? Results are reviewed by the board to determine if there were any convictions, and then anything that meets this criteria as quoted in the Code of Virginia would be referred to the board for action, and then they would look to see if you disclose that. After the review process is complete, applicants may be notified of the outcome by letter, and/or the status will be updated on your electronic checklist. Notification letters to applicants may include just comments that no convictions, therefore the application for licensure can proceed with the licensure process. If there were revealed convictions that meet the criteria for cause for denial by the state, that'll be explained as well. Okay, it goes into more about what's significant. Each application is considered on a state-by-state basis. You can, there's information about challenging the results of the background check. And then this workflow just goes through, it shows over here starting on the left-hand side that the Board of Nursing receives those applications. They do their review, they send a letter, and it kind of just goes through the process. Once they get the criminal background check, they notify usually with results within 24 to 48 hours right here in the middle. If there's no conviction or meets criteria for approval, based on the what they find, then you're authorized to continue in your licensure process. If it goes a different route, there's more information about that as well. Applications remain active for 1 year. All right. Let's go back again. So the criminal background check is only a part of the application process, and you must comply with all of the requirements. Once you successfully complete the exclusive online application process for RN LPN licensure by exam, you're eligible to request a fingerprint background. So you'll get, the vendor is responsible for processing your fingerprints. You'll receive an application confirmation receipt, which contains important information that you must retain in order to register for your fingerprinting appointment. This receipt includes that field print code, and you'll need that code to register and to get your appointment. And if you're doing this online, which we strongly encourage all of you to do, it'll be available in your checklist. So it's done a lot electronically. It's a digital fingerprint image. And the cost, again, is $33.95. Field print is the exclusive vendor. Field print provides a 24/7, 365-day fingerprinting schedule. It's a web-based portal. They can answer questions through their call center. So you schedule your fingerprint appointment, and remember to retain your Board of Nursing field print code to complete your fingerprint scheduling registration. And there's numbers there. Then it goes over again about the results. Okay, and there's down here at the bottom is additional questions about the criminal background check. So why are they doing it? Why? It's pretty much most everything that was in that PowerPoint. Let me see if there's anything that I forgot to cover. Okay, let's go back here. All right, so we're going to go back now to the original application page. So this goes over, we went over the endorsement application instructions, we went over the criminal background check, the license verification form, that's from a different state, get information on the nurse licensure compact and the rules and the laws. And then you're actually going to click here to start. Now, since I'm not actually applying, this is not available for us to walk through, but from what I understand from the students, this is pretty straightforward. So this site is for initial applications only. If you wish to renew an existing license, go somewhere else. Click here to see a listing of license types. If you haven't already registered or would like to apply, click here to register. So you're going to have to register first. If you're a returning user and you're going back to check on your application, you would log in below. You can also click register a person here. All right. All right, this concludes, and there's more information here. This concludes the Virginia